Hello, welcome back to Freddy in the Shed. Got another little 2 metre 70cm radio coming into the shack. I showed you this briefly on a previous video. This is the Baofeng. I think I'm saying that right now. Baofeng UV9R Pro. It's a new radio to them, and it's returning back to the basics, because one thing I've noticed recently is manufacturers of these radios are throwing everything at them nowadays. The market is so saturated with these, they need to come up with new ideas. A bit like this iRadio that you see here, which I haven't even opened the box on this one. But this iRadio has the SI4732 chip in it, as well as this Radtel here. And that's fine. I mean, I love having all of these features on these radios. It will receive shortwave. Apparently this one will transmit on CB. I don't know about that, but we'll find out when I test that in the future. But it's lovely to have all those features, but sometimes you just want, or I just want, a dark side PMR radio. When I say dark side, I just very quickly explain that. Out of the box, these radios are 2 metre 70cm ham radio transceivers, and if you were to use the ham radio frequencies, the ham band, you would need an operating license to do so. I reprogram these to the public band, which is over in the UK, that's our PMR 446. That is a band that you can transmit on. You do not need a license for, unfortunately, due to the power output and the fact this radio has a removable antenna. It makes it non-compliant, so it makes it an illegal radio to use on those frequencies. We've been doing it for well over 10 years now. As long as you're careful, you're absolutely fine. But it's not a type approved radio. That's why I call it dark side. Get that out of the way. So yeah, I've been looking for something a little bit more basic with a plain LCD display. Maybe an updated version of my trusty little UV5R. And I still think this was a great radio. And maybe I found it with this one, because the layout of the keys is very, very simple. We'll have a closer look at it in a moment, but all of the keys have shortcuts underneath them. Very easy to operate menu system, and also an LCD display, which is almost identical to the UV5R. And also the price, it's cheap. It's about £23, which I think is a fair price nowadays for one of these radios. So let's get it on the bench and let's have a closer look at it. Right, least popular part of the video, so I'll get through this quite quickly. But as I say, it is important to see what you get for your money. Quite a lot in here, I've got to say. Instruction book is colour on the front. I haven't even looked at it. It's very, very small text. No illustrations as such. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, there is something. Yeah. Pretty average. Not great. Not brilliant, but right. Let's have a quick look then. See, we've got a charging base. I think that's always good. Hopefully we can charge directly into the battery. Comes with a Euro style 2-pin shaver plug, which you'll need an adapter for. The UK does have a charging light. Just have a quick look on the radio. Hopefully the charge... Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's good. So the USB-C is in the battery. I prefer that than actually being in the radio. It means you could get a spare battery and you can charge it off the battery. Standard USB-C for charging, obviously. Not seeing a program cable. This is weird. What the hell? So this is the belt clip. Okay, I've never seen anything like this before. How the hell? That's very, very thick. Okay, that's weird. Looks like you have to take out a screw, and that goes in a screw. I'm not loving that. That really makes the radio... Look at the width on that. Oh, it's that way round, is it? Oh, that slides. Surely it'd be that way round. Yeah, that to me is over engineering, to be perfectly honest. I mean, what was wrong with that? That was the original UV5R belt clip. Mine's metal clasp. Mine's still going. Why reinvent the wheel? I don't know what I've done that for. Okay, I'm not loving that. It's a shame really, I wanted to like this radio. A little screw in a bag, maybe that's for that, is it? Although I'm never going to use that because that's going to just stick in my back. Wrist lanyard, yeah, okay, quite useful. And looks like we've got an over-ear headphone device. Again, I would have preferred a program cable. That's quite chunky. So we've got an earphone, built-in microphone with PTT. Oh my god! Oh no, that's the connector, isn't it? That is like a Motorola type. That is a unique connector. I haven't got one of those. I haven't got a programming cable. What a pain! What are they thinking of when they do this? Okay, so that would go. I'm gonna have to say this, you know, Baofeng or Baofeng. If you watch my videos, yeah, why make things complicated? Why try and reinvent the wheel? When you did the UV5R and every other radio that's come out since then, you used the K1 Kenwood socket, and that become an industry standard. And we've all got those programming cables, okay? And it worked. It worked with Chirp, and it worked with your own program software. They're very reliable. They have a little chip and a prolific driver. And once they got over the Windows 11 hiccup, they work. Why change things? Why go to that? Because I test a lot of radios on this channel, and I have not got a program cable that is going to fit that radio, and I don't particularly want to spend another £7-8 in buying one. So unless you're going to provide a program cable in the box, why reinvent the wheel? Why change something that you almost created the industry standard when you did it on the UV5R? I don't understand when these people do their market research. I don't understand that they don't look into this. I haven't got a screwdriver to undo it, but why change it? That's crazy. So that's a shame, really. So there's two things straight away that I'm a bit fed up with. I mean, I'm not going to. That's stupid. I'm not going to use that. And that is idiotic to change that. So that's a double negative. You know, I was hoping to get a UV5R replacement with a proper short keyboard with shortcuts, and straight away that's a problem. So what I'm going to have to do now, and okay, yeah, to be fair, oh, sorry, I kicked the camera. In my frustration, so you can tell I'm getting frustrated. I've started kicking the camera. My feet are twitching. So look, to be fair, I probably will be able to, by going through the menu, I'll probably be able to put in the 16 PMR channels manually, but that is a massive ball ache. I've got to type those frequencies in 16 times and add them to the memory. You can do it in a couple of minutes in Chirp, but that's what I'm going to have to be content with. Okay, all right, let's get past that and have a look at the radio. All right, going to calm down a little bit now. First thing I like about the radio is the simple display. It is so refreshing to have a simple display, very similar to the UV5R. In fact, it almost looks identical, and you'll be able to read that in bright sunshine. I can't key up because I haven't programmed it, but I assume it will probably change colour when you TX as well. Just quickly go for the specs on this radio, because although it's a basic radio, it is quite well spec'd really. Has the FM broadcast radio band 65 to 108, also has the air band 108 to 136. For the ham radio side, if you're interested, it will TX transmit on 136 to 174 and 400 to 520 on transmit, and that's good because that means that when we program this at 446, that's within the parameters of the radio, and that should cut down on spurious harmonics. It also has another frequency band which you can receive on, and that's 350 to 390 megahertz. Power wise, we have high, medium and low power. High power, it depends what you read. I've read 10 watts and some websites say 8 watts. Mid power is around 5 watts, maybe a little less. Low power, 1 watt, and that's probably what we're using. Does have and this is a good feature of a modern radio, it has the 1 key frequency copy. So if you're in a group and someone is in your group, you press, and I think it's that button, you hold that button, it takes a few seconds, the radio finds their frequency. It should also find their CTCSS privacy code as well, matches the radio. Very, very handy. We have 128 channel memories. Radio is also IP68 waterproof, and it does feel quite nice in the hand. It does feel like it will take a drop. It is very nicely made. Also, another feature which is being missed on a lot of these radios, and they tell me because they're leaving it blank now so they can fit a GPS antenna. But this one, there we go. This one has the torch, the little LED, which flashes. Yeah, no siren or anything stupid like that. That really, really good. Really, really good. Because I did use that a lot on my original UV5R. Also notice we've got an emergency button on the radio. I'm not sure what that does. Nothing at the moment. Quite useful if you could reprogram the radio, and this is really where, again, I'm going to moan about the program cable, because you can nowadays, not the PTT, but you can reprogram these buttons. I'm not going to be able to do that, I don't think, unless I can do it in the menu system without the programming cable. Yeah, I mean, looking around the radio itself, as I say, we've got all of the shortcuts back on the keys on this one, and that's going to make using the radio so much easier. This is the scan function, simple up and down,
1, 2, 3,
and a back key. Now, one thing, this is slightly different, and I think it's a backward step. On the original UV5R, we had a VFO and memory key. Hopefully you can see that just there. This one's a little different in that you have to switch the radio off and you have to hold down this multifunction key, and when you switch it on,
frequency mode,
goes into frequency mode. Switch it off,
channel mode,
goes into channel mode, which is what we're most likely to use for PMR, but it's nice to have it in frequency mode to scan the airband. It would be nice if,
menu,
yeah, that goes into the menu. It would be nice if that would be like the original. You wouldn't have to keep switching the radio on and off. Again, might be able to reprogram maybe that button if we wanted to go ahead and purchase a programming lead, but I don't feel inclined to do so, to be perfectly honest. If it's not my fault they've changed the connector. Side of the radio, yeah, very simple. Push TT, it's alright. It's hard plastic. I do like it if it's got a rubberized coating, especially this is supposed to be IP68 as well. It does feel a little bit cheap, to be perfectly fair. And these two buttons, they're rubber. They feel a little bit better, but that's a little bit cheap, to be honest. I think there's a rubber membrane under that. Back of the radio, USB-C straight into the battery like that. That lights up red and then it goes green when you charge it. Belt clip, complete waste of time. Why they've changed that, I don't know. So I just bashed the camera again. Getting a little bit carried away here. Yeah, no idea why they've changed that. This side, this very odd programming port, which doesn't make sense either. And then you've got the flashlight. You've got a LED, which I'd assume is going to be for transmit and receive. A programmable button, which I may or may not be able to program. Simple on off. Very nice pot there. And then a rubber ducky. Well, it's not a rubber ducky, is it? It's a bit like an Agoya, actually. A sort of a metal, covered metal, springy type antenna, which I actually prefer compared to the solid rubber duckies because they bend quite nicely to go into your pocket. It comes in a variety of colours, this one as well. This is obviously the green one. I think there's a yellow one, orange one. And yeah, so I mean, overall, it's a very nice quality radio. I'm just not sure as I say, why they've changed the programming port and that belt clip, and how important that becomes might be relevant at the end of the video. Let's have a closer look at the menu system. So straight into the menu, one button press. Very similar to the UV5R. Squelch there straight at the top, that's perfect. So many radios now are putting that well into the menu system. Step rate, we're not really going to change that on PMR, but it's nice that it's there. Transmit power, high, medium and low. Again, you've got the shortcut just there for that, so that's really, really good. Oh,
Menu.
save, not quite sure what that is. Voice activated feature if you want to use that. Wide and narrow. I normally set mine to narrow, to be honest. I find that a little bit easier. TDR. Oh, key beep, yeah.
Beep on.
Off.
Confirm.
No worries. That's better, isn't it? Timeout, timer. Yeah, so it's very basic stuff. And these are your privacy codes that I will switch off myself. I like my radios open. Voice. And this is all your digital modes coming in now. I can't see a can't see a scramble feature. Some of these radios have a scrambler, so you can completely make your transmission safe. Can't see a scramble feature. Quite a lot on here, a bit like the original UV. Oh, okay, it got an offset there. That's good. And there's your memory channels, which I am going to have to do this manually, unfortunately. Looks like you can change the colour of the display if you really wanted to. I think we'll leave that as it is. There's a lot on here actually. Again, this would be so much easier to. I'm going to put the I'm going to put the Roger beep on. We're going to put the Roger beep on. I do like a Roger beep. Let's go back to the scroll. So yeah, quite a lot of memory options, a bit like the original radio. And once again, I'm going to keep saying it, but would have preferred to have done all of those in chirp other than go through the radio manually. But that's what we're going to have to do. So I think what I need to do is I need to work out how to program it to put in the memories. I'll show you me doing a couple of those speeded up, and then we can do a basic test. Welcome to the programming part of the video. If you're watching the short video, there is a complete review on this radio. If you're interested, I'll leave that in the description. We're doing this via the keypad because the radio has a unique connection for the program cable, and I don't have the appropriate cable, and I don't suppose you have either. Now, I did encounter a problem with this radio straight out of the box. At first it wouldn't accept the frequencies. I don't know if that was just my radio. I did find a workaround for that, so I'll just quickly show you that in case you get the same problem. Just switch on.
Channel mode.
So we're in channel mode at the moment. That's absolutely fine. You press the green program button and then you want 40 if you hit this problem.
Menu.
40. That takes you to the reset all, and then you then press the green button again. That puts the radio into factory reset. You will have to go back into the menu system and just change the spoken voice from Chinese to English, unless you're Chinese, of course. But you might not have any problem. That was just something that affected me. Very first thing we need to do is to make sure the radio is set in frequency mode. I think I'm currently in channel mode. Very easy to do on this radio. Switch the radio off, hold down the green button, switch on.
Frequency mode.
Frequency mode. Remember, you've got two banks of frequencies. You change them via this little grey button here. Top and bottom. We're just going to work with the top at the moment. When it comes down to programming the radio, I'm going to be programming PMR channels. The radio isn't type approved in the UK for PMR channels, so just remember at your own risk if you want to go down that road. I get my PMR channels just off the internet. I use a website called Radio Island. I'll link it in the description if you want to use the same one as me, but you can get them in Wikipedia or anywhere. First thing that I do is I set the radio, the step rate to 25. Do that by just pressing the menu system.
Menu.
And scroll down. There you go, step rate 25.0K. I just find by doing that it works out the last frequency for me when I put in the PMR channels. So we'll go back. Okay, make sure that we're going to go on the top on the top frequencies here. Doesn't really matter. That's what we're going to do. Right, so we're typing for channel 3 on PMR. So that's 446-03125.
4, 4, 6, 0, 3, 1.
There we go. That's all we have to do. It's already worked out the 25 for us. Right, we now want to put that into the radio. We're now ready to put this frequency into the radio's presets, and that's why you're here watching this video. Quite easy to do. We're going to press the green button, and then quickly on the keypad we're going to option 27. So we're going to press green 27, and that takes us straight to the memory options. Let's go for it.
Menu.
There we go. So memory channel. We want to choose which channel we would like to use. So we press the green button again.
Channel.
And then we can then simply scroll down. We're going to want channel 3. That's the other way. So there's 127 in total, obviously. There we go. Channel 3, and then the green button to confirm.
Receiving memory.
Basically, that means it's in the memory. Press the grey button to go back. And now our PMR channel is in channel 3. We should be able to confirm that when we go into channel mode. So again, switch the radio off, hold down the green button.
Channel mode.
Channel mode. And I can't see, but hopefully you can see.
1, 2, 7, 3, 2.
There you go.
3, 2, 3.
Okay, that's basically it. I'll just do it one more time in case you didn't get it. So let's do it quickly then. Switch the radio off, hold down the green button.
Frequency mode.
Into frequency mode, we're going to use the top frequency band here. Type in your frequency. In my case, it's going to be channel 4 on PMR.
4, 4, 6, 0, 4, 3.
There we go. It should automatically work out the last 2 digits for you. Press the green button and type 27.
Menu.
There we go. Press the green button again.
Memory channel.
Select channel 4 in this case. And press it to confirm.
Receiving memory.
And then the grey button to go back. And that's it. It's a bit of a pain. I would like to have done this in chirp, to be honest, if I had a cable that fitted into the radio, but you should only have to do it once. Here we are then, we're on our usual perch. Typically it was quite sunny when I started walking out from the shack, hence I'm wearing the shades. But it's blowing up a little bit now, and I think it's going to start to turn to rain. So we're going to test this radio. We're going to do it on its medium power. That's probably what I'd normally use. We're about just under a kilometre from the QTH, and really that's all you need on PMR. It's not a long distance communication device. Let's transmit back and see how we get on. Yeah, audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4, audio check.
Yeah, audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4, audio check. On the flyover, on the walkway. Audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So here we are then, we're at 1.5 kilometres, and it's starting to rain. So now I'm the knob standing here in sunglasses on my own talking to a radio, getting some rather funny looks. Nothing really changes, does it? Anyway, let's get on with the test. Medium power, 1.5 kilometres. Yeah, audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.5K at medium power. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Second test then, we've gone down to low power, which is about 1 watt, and I think that's probably all you need on PMR. Let's give it a go. Audio check, 1, 2, 3.
Audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4. Low power test, about 1 watt, 1.5 kilometres from the QTH. Just doing a reverse test now, so I'm transmitting obviously back to the Baofeng. A couple of people have said that these recent Baofengs have noise suppression that can make the receive sound a little bit robotic. Hopefully that's not coming out. I'm speaking in my normal voice into the Radtel here, So yeah, Mary had its little lamb. Audio check, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio.
Conclusion time then. What do I think of this Baofeng UV9R Pro? Well, let's start with the good points. And I think the first good point has to be the price. I think it's very keenly priced. Current full UK price on Banggood is £23. And a little postage if you don't spend over £40. But £23 is pretty keen. I might get a discount code on that as well. I'll ask. If I do, that will be in the description as well. That will bring the price down a little bit. And also, as I'm making this video, there is currently a sale on at Banggood where there should be at least a few days left. And that will bring the price down even more. So I haven't worked it out. You'll have to go on there and work it out for yourselves. But that's going to bring it down very, very keen. So yeah, I've got no complaints on the price. I mean, bearing in mind, go back 11 years ago when we were buying the UV5Rs, we were paying £24, £25 for these. 2014, 2013 prices. So yeah, no complaints about the price. Also, the construction of the radio. I think as the years have gone on, you've got more for your money. 2,800 mAh battery. Yeah, they've got a bit bigger. But a very nice construction, also IP68 rated, so no problem about taking this out in the rain or using it if you're into water sports or anything like that. Love the display, really do like the simple LCD display. I just think it makes it so much easier on a day-to-day basis. As I say, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just buy one of those black displays, and the first time you use it outside, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also love the keypad, the fact that all of the shortcuts are printed on the keys. Why they're doing away with that, really, I don't get that. So that's all really, really positive. There is a small negative, that belt clip. If you use the belt clip, overcomplicated that, and it sticks out too much. I wouldn't use it because generally I'll be maybe getting in and out of the car when I'm using these on holiday or something. Have it clipped on my belt. That's going to dig in. That's going to really dig in my side. So I over-engineered the belt clip. Yeah, someone had a bit of a laugh for that. And then my final main criticism, and this is an important criticism, concerns that unique Motorola style socket on the side. And I've been trying to think of why they did it whilst I've been doing the review, and the only thing I can think of is to get the IP68 rating, because the K1 Kenwood socket there with the two prongs, maybe that lets water in, because I think IP68 is 1.5 meters submerged, and maybe, just maybe, they couldn't achieve that. Personally, no, just give me a waterproof radio, guys. You really messed that up. You really messed that up, and it's such a shame. But as I say, because normally you can reprogram all of these buttons in Chirp, it takes a couple of minutes. And I'm on a 23 quid radio. I don't want to spend another 8-9 quid on a cable. Not gonna happen. So yeah, they messed that up, and it's a shame because I'm really looking for the perfect replacement for the UV5R, and I really thought I had it with this radio, but to me, because of that, it isn't. I haven't yet found that replacement. But in saying that, if you're one of those people that you don't mind sitting down with, with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and manually programming the frequencies into the memory presets, you've only got to do it once, to be honest. And that's the way sometimes we used to do it on the old ones. So you've only got to do it once. If you're happy to do that and get your 16 frequencies in there, then yeah, it's a good little radio. Good little radio for £23. I just like to program them in Chirp. I'm a bit lazy. That's just my problem. But there you go. As I say, this came in from Banggood, and as I said, there is currently a sale on at Banggood. So if you're thinking of maybe getting one of these or other Banggood products, I would get them whilst they're still available in the sale before the price goes back up. That's it from me. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning into Freddy in the Shed. I really do appreciate you dropping by. I'm a small channel. I really don't get that many views, so you are appreciated on the channel. As always, I'd like to say to all of you, stay safe, look after each other for me, and of course, I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys. Little update on the Ford Probe that we always pass on the back, coming back from the radio reviews. Looks like it's a little bit worse for wear at the moment. It's got its spare wheel on the rear there, and Looks like it's off the road for some work. It's jacked up on the back and front wheel has been removed, and looks like the brake disc and the brake hub and the caliper has been taken off, so maybe it's going to get a little bit of renovation. Seems a shame that these cars would end up in the junkyard, so maybe the owner's taken a bit of an interest, so we'll watch that with interest over the coming months, and hopefully we might see it renovated.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.